Hi, my name is Lee Ridge. I'm the external horticulture lecturer, and I just thought I'd take a moment just to run you through how to implement and how to create and enter the data necessary for a plant profile sheet. So if we take a look at my computer screen now, you'll be able to follow where the data is entered and how it's supposed to be entered so that you ensure that your plant profile sheet is complete. Okay, so for this exercise, I'm focusing upon a plant that hopefully everybody knows and is familiar with, and that is the humble agapanthus. In most gardens in South Australia, you'll see this plant. So its origin is from southern Africa. The botanical name, the genus, is Agapanthus, and you'll note both the genus and the species being the second word, is in italic. They're in italic. But capital with regards to the genus, and pretty important with regards to botanical presentation that we get that right. So certainly with the genus and the species always in italic, and with the genus is always capital letter. Little note there's many cultivars now available, but for our circumstances today we're just focusing upon the original parent plant, which is Agapanthus orientalis. Okay, so the common name is Agapanthus, or some folks will refer to it as the Nile lily. The family name is Liliaceae. It is plant life cycle is it an annual, being that it's 12 months? Well, no, it's not. It'll live longer than that, won't it? So is it a biannual, being that it'll live for 2 years? Well, no, often we'll find it living much longer than that. So we would highlight perennial, put a circle around it, however you want to do it. But just ensure that, at least in this circumstance, that perennial is highlighted. It is evergreen, so it holds its leaves all year round. The shape or the habit of the plant is a shrub, and the shape of the mature plant is clumped. Not really a technical term, but a good descriptive term that will define the growth habit of the plant for you, or the shape of the plant for you, so consider the use of clumped. Okay, so dimensions of the plant is height, with regards to height, is 1 metre, as you'd be aware, and approximately 1 metre wide. The leaf structure, which we'll take a look at shortly, is a simple leaf. So it's one individual leaf. It doesn't contain a whole series of little leaflets. So it's a simple leaf. The leaf shape is strap-like. The margin is entire. The leaf colour is light green. I tend to think light green, mid-green, sometimes dark green, depending on whether it's in the shade. If it's in the shade, then it'll often be a darker colour. And the arrangement, hard to tell on this plant, but if you look real close where it grows out of the growing point of the plant down to the base of the soil, they're generally structured as an alternate leaf arrangement. So let's take a look at a leaf structure. I'll just move across to our graphics screen. Okay, so here's a standard leaf of our Agapanthus. So what we see here is it is certainly strap-like, so you can bend it, you can twist it. A bit like a clivia, definitely strap-like. So strap-like is a good descriptive term for this particular plant. And it's entire. You see the leaf margin where it's not serrated in any way. So that's a term, and we refer to that as being entire. That's the descriptive term that's required for a leaf structure without a serration of any form or indentation of any form. It's simple, being that it's one leaf. Again, doesn't have a whole series of little leaflets like a jacaranda leaf, as an example, where it'd be a compound leaf. So it's a simple leaf structure, and certainly in this situation, a light green colour. Okay, so we jump back across to my computer screen now. And now what we're looking at is the flower shape. So with the flower shape, it's tubular. When you look closely at an Agapanthus, again, look at the descriptive terms within the Moodle site, the online classroom, because it details all the different flower shapes, or a lot of them that are available, and different leaf structures and terms that can be utilised. The flower is purple. The flower season is spring and generally midsummer. Starts to go to seed about now, which is during this recording is just the beginning of autumn. You'll start to see it in going to seed. The inflorescence is an umbel, which refers to the structure of the flower arrangement upon the plant, and the fruit is a capsule. Now we might be able to capture an example of a capsule if we go back to the graphics screen. Now what we're looking at here is your classic agapanthus flower, and it's gone to seed. So it's just starting to go to seed. So all these were once tubular purple flowers in this situation. You can get them white as well, of course, and some other variations nowadays. But in our situation, we were dealing with the purple. This is the mother plant, the original species. And so if you look carefully, hopefully you can pick up on that. They're the seed just there, and we're just flicking them out of the capsule. So these seed are viable in this context. So with the mother plant, these seed are viable. So you do need to be careful, because if you plant them near river courses, then they will self-seed and they will become an environmental weed at times in some circumstances. So keep that in mind. With regards to your varieties that you're using now, and there's a whole series of dwarf varieties and variegated forms, etc. Not so much of a problem, because a lot of them are non-viable seed, but in this context, definitely a viable seed. So you can see just how many seed we've got here. We've got hundreds. So they could become an environmental weed if not monitored correctly. Okay, back across to my computer. Now this is important, these next few boxes, so if you can, jot down as much information as you can for the differing species. So in our situation, soil requirements, because it's such a tough plant, being the agapanthus, it'll grow in most soils, although they do enjoy summer moisture. So if you can irrigate them over summer periodically, you'll get more flowers and a better show for you. Cultural requirements, so they enjoy full sun, and they'll produce greater flowers in full sun. If you plant them in the shade, often the flower display will be greatly reduced. You need to look towards removing spent flowers with pruning during the summer period, and fertilise in spring with some organic mulch if you can spare it. It's always of benefit, just keeping that nutrient cycle happening. And be aware that snails and slugs will inhabit the bases of these plants. So generally they'll spread out from there and damage your surrounding vegetation. So just be aware of that and monitor that accordingly. So the use with regards to agapanthus, well, we've all seen it used as a border plant. It can also be used as a feature flower, obviously cut flower as well. And foliage and texture contrast for many gardens is important nowadays, so we want to keep that in mind. It's also used in xeriscaping. Xeriscaping being low-use water gardens, so pretty important in that context nowadays. We should all be considering those issues fairly thoughtfully now. And again, as I said before, it's a traditional species, this one, and so will self-seed, and the seed is viable. So be cautious, because it can become an environmental weed in certain circumstances. So I trust this has been of some use to you. I think it's worthwhile just to gain an understanding and see one presentation as to how a plant profile sheet should be created. And if you've got any further questions, please contact your faculty and we'll assist you accordingly. Thank you.